All right, so we're gonna go over the groin wrap techniques. We have two different kinds. We have one for the adductor group and one for the hip flexor group. So the first variation that we're gonna show you is if somebody strained their adductors. So we're gonna get Oscar to put his heel on this block, and then we're gonna get him to internally rotate his hip. So basically point his whole foot and leg inward. Then we're gonna come in with the actual tensor bandage, okay? And we want to apply this pretty high up. We want to make sure we're not too low because it can really slide down if it's low. So what you want to ideally do is find where the hip crease is, so when they bend their hip, where that kind of fold will be. And it's usually right around here. And then you want to make sure that the groin wrap's right up against there. This will not only help to make sure it doesn't slide, but most groin strains, happen pretty high up. So this will help to apply compression as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this here. I'm going to get him to put his hand there. I'm going to wrap underneath the leg. And you always want to make sure that when you're doing the adductor strain, you're pulling medially. So I'm applying tension medially to help the adductors pull the leg in and adduct the leg. Once I've gone around the leg once, then I'm going to go up around the hip. So you can see that Oscar's hands are on his iliac crests. I want to make sure that I'm above, at least half of my material is above that iliac crest. So I'm going to pull medially, I'm going to come up around the hip. So again, if I put my hands on his iliac crest, it's right here. So we can see that I have that amount of fabric that's above the iliac crest. This side, you don't care too much if it's above the iliac crest. So you're going to come back down. We're going to pull medially again. I'm going to go right back up over the iliac crest. And then I'm going to just finish up the wrap on the thigh. I'm going to get him to hold that. You're then going to take your elastic tape. Okay, so this is the adhesive kind that's actually going to stick. And you're pretty much going to wrap around everywhere you've already gone over with the tensor. So get him to lift his shirt. And then you'll just end the wrap here with the tape. Then you're going to take your zinc oxide tape and you're just going to secure the ends of the elastic tape, really just to make sure that it stays on and it's not going to slide or fall. So we'll just do 3 strips, really make sure it stays there. Okay, perfect. So now, one of the things to keep in mind that when you are doing a groin wrap, it ideally needs to be right up against the skin. So maybe over top of like underwear or compression pants. It can't be over top of their gear. So if he was a soccer player, I can't put it over top of the shorts he's going to wear during the game. It has to be underneath. Okay. The other thing, you're still going to do all your pre-taping questions, all your post-taping stuff, so you can check their cap refill or pinch the toe. And then you can't manually test this, so you'll just get them to do 3 functional things. So that might be, like side lunge, side shuffle, anything that's going to involve lateral movement. Okay. I'm now going to show you on the opposite hip how to do a hip flexor wrap. So you can wrap it in the same direction, except we usually teach it by wrapping in the opposite direction. So we're going to get him to stand on the bolster again. And then this time, I don't want him to rotate in. I just want to keep his leg straight. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, maybe I'll get you to face the camera. I'll come on this side again. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is, before we started by going here and going over the medial side and then up the lateral side. Now we're going to do the opposite. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to go over the lateral side, get him to hold it. Come over the lateral side, up the medial side. But instead of pulling laterally, I'm just going to pull straight and then kind of lay the fabric down. So I'm going to come here. We're going to pull straight. And now I'm going to go over top of the hip. So same idea. I'm wrapping this way. I want to make sure I'm on the iliac crest of the opposite hip, just like this. I'm pulling straight, and I'm going to lay the fabric down around his hips. Same idea, pull, and then lay it down. And then you're doing the exact same thing by using the elastic tape to wrap and secure it on. I'm not going to go all the way around just to save tape, but you would normally go around the hip just like we did on the first one. And then same thing, you're just going to finish off by securing it down here. And then finish up with your post-taping questions.